Hey guys, what's up? This is Kazi from cleverprogrammer.com. I get this question asked to me constantly. How do I beat laziness? How do I overcome procrastination? How do I achieve my goals? All of those things boil down to a same thing, which is, having the ability to beat laziness or procrastination and then going through, and achieving your goals and not getting burnt out in the process. So in this video, I'm going to cover it in the best and the easiest way that I know of, and I'll show you exactly how I plan my days out as well. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 different methods that I use for increasing my productivity 100 times, and you can steal them and use them. The first way that I'm going to be talking about, I call it the stealth mode. The second way I'm going to show you is called the goal maniac. Third way is going to be the immersion, okay? And the fourth way is my perfect day technique. I'm going to go into each of them and I'm going to explain exactly how I use these and exactly how you can use this as well. But before we begin, let's talk about a few important things you have to understand about how motivation works and how laziness and procrastination works. A few important points I want to tell you about that and willpower is that your willpower, right, something that makes you move and do something, is incredibly limited. You can think of it like gas in a car tank. Once the gas runs out, the car doesn't move anymore. So your willpower is limited. That's why you can't rely on your willpower all the time, because there will come a time when you run out of it, right? For example, let's say New Year's resolution, everybody gets really pumped up. They want that new body, that new beach body. So January 1st or December 31st or whatever, they make a New Year's resolution and then they go start working out. It lasts maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks, maybe less, and then they quit. It's a temporary willpower, like a gas tank, and then it essentially runs out. So what I want to show you is essentially how you can be like Tesla with your goal achieving and your laser sharp focus in achieving your goals, meaning you're more fuel efficient or willpower efficient. So you can think of it like that. I want to make you more willpower efficient. There's some other techniques you can use so you're not relying on your willpower the entire time, right? Like, oh, I gotta have this kick right now. And then your willpower cracks because it's right there in front of you. So you go, you grab that cake and you eat it, right? So I want to show you techniques where it's not determined on your willpower and you can actually should be like, hey, I'm actually not even interested in that cake. So that was first important thing. Second thing I want to tell you, which is very important for you to understand, is your ideas and your motivation is not your own. So a lot of the times we think that all our motivation, all our drive, everything that moves us towards something is coming from within us. It's actually not. You are a byproduct of the things that you do every day, and you are a byproduct of your surroundings and your environment. That means your friends, what types of friends are you with? I even noticed something where for most of you people, your 4 or 5 closest people in your life, whatever their average salary is, that might actually be your average salary as well. So not only is it a saying and a phrase, you are the average of your 5 friends, but it's actually quantifiably measurable, okay? So it's almost like a fact. That's a key thing for you to understand. Okay, so now let's jump into starting from the easiest thing to the most difficult thing, because I want to give you guys some tangible things you can do right now, right, in the small picture to get that huge productivity boost. And then I also want to give you some long-term takeaways. So, in the future, you're future-proof and you're still reaching those goals. Because simple productivity hacks, right? Everybody can give you, my top 23 productivity hacks, but they're temporary. I want to give you not only the temporary ones, but also ones that will be there for the rest of your life. And it's a repeatable process. It's almost scientific. You can just repeat it over and over again, because I know I have. Okay, let's start with the first and the easiest one, the stealth mode. Okay, the stealth mode is basically going stealth, okay? Kind of like a stealth airplane, which is when it's in the air, It's so high that nobody can see it. It's stealth. What you want to do is, the first thing you can do with your phone is use the goddamn airplane mode, okay, on your phone. Everybody has it. If you don't know what you're talking about, or you live under some kind of a rock, it's this airplane mode button at the left, okay, the top one, the one that's actually grayed out right now. I got to follow my own advice. I have to have it on airplane mode. So that's one thing that I use, and it helps me be incredibly productive. Now, let me explain why it's so helpful, or why not having airplane mode on is actually so harmful. So let's see what happens to your attention span, right? You have your phone with you, yeah? And you're getting text messages, you're getting emails on this thing, you're getting Instagram notifications, Facebook notifications, and whatnot. You might be saying, Kazi, it's not that bad. I only check it for like 2 minutes at a time or 30 seconds at a time. That's okay. If you add up that whole time throughout the day, you're right. It might only be 10 minutes. It might only be 15 minutes. But it's not actually the time you spend physically looking at it. It's actually the time that adds up when you're not looking at it and thinking about it. Right? So when I look at my phone notifications, or some random blog post, or some random Facebook statuses of somebody, about some drama or something, once I put my phone away and lock it, my brain is now thinking about some very mediocre crap for a very long time. Something that's not relevant, something that doesn't really have to do with me, something that doesn't give me more information or helps me do. So my brain is stuck thinking about very less creative things, so to speak. And that eats up your brain's, thinking power for the next few hours, or hours throughout the day. Okay, so it actually lowers your level of thinking, and it lowers your level of doing for the rest of the day. Okay, because you're not even thinking about doing; you're just in your head. So airplane mode will help you, one, become more productive, think more about doing things, and actually even help you become more social. So whether your goal for being social is just having a better relationship with your friends, family, girlfriend, whatever, or being more social can actually help you also with your job skills, becoming, cooler with your boss, friends, things of that nature, being more likely to get a promotion, being more likable. So airplane mode, the reason why I'm stressing it so much is because if I just talk about it for 1 second, you'll do it for 1 second, and then that's it. But it's a very important thing, and if you learn to do it religiously, especially when you're working, you'll see that the effect that it has on you is actually exponential and compounds over time, making you infinitely more productive than you are right now. Cool? Okay. Let's move on to thing number 2, the goal maniac technique, okay? And this is about writing down your goals constantly, okay? I don't want to say write it down every day, because sometimes you can forget, and if you forget something that requires you to be consistent, then you're just likely to give yourself, more, it's called moral licensing, and you're like, oh, I fell off the bandwagon the first time, so now I just shouldn't do it at all. Something that happens to people who are trying to diet, right? They're on this restrictive diet, they're following it, then they crash for one day, then they give themselves a moral license to go, oh, what the hell? And then they just indulge in every bad junk food that they can eat because they have gotten off it, right? Or messed up. So instead of cutting their losses short and then going back in, they just crash. So for the goals, writing down your goals, you don't have to write it every single day or on a consistent schedule. That's good if you can, right? But what I want you to do is whenever you can, just have like a legal pad like this, okay? And just write down what you want to be doing. So for example, I'll give you some ideas. I want to be a jiu-jitsu, blue belt in a year or 2. So that would be like a long-term goal thing. I want to hit $1 million by next year. I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. I'm at 80,000 right now. I want to become better at ping pong, so at least go to one more competition for table tennis, because I compete in table tennis. I want to become a 2100 rated chess player, because right now my rating is about 2,000 in chess, and I do compete in chess as well. I want to try to code at least for 1 to 2 hours a day, so I can, just be very comfortable with making apps and teaching you guys how to make apps. So yeah, these are a few of my goals that I'm thinking of at the top of my head. Now some important ones are like lifting. So I want to be able to squat a certain weight. I want to be able to deadlift a certain weight. I want to be able to bent over row or bench press a certain weight, right? Those are also my goals. And I can choose to set monthly goals, whatever. Don't worry about the structure. That's where most people get confused. They're like, what should my goals look like? Where should I write them? How should I write them? Do I have to buy the perfect journal? Do I have to go on this perfect web app that has me track my goals? No, you're making it too complicated. Simple. Grab a pen, grab a legal pad. I have a super ugly handwriting, and also my notes are always terrible. They're never organized, never categorized, and they're like all over the place. Just write, okay? Putting this on a piece of paper, as humans, we constantly forget. We know what we're supposed to be doing. It's not the knowledge that's stopping you. It's your behaviors that are stopping you, right? It's the actions and the motivation to act on them that's stopping you. You know you should be drinking a lot of water, but do you? Right? Most of us don't. So that's why we need constant reminders. But if you have somebody reminding you, I'm sitting there next to you and I'm just going, hey, drink more water, drink more water. Now you'll drink more water, okay? So again, don't just sit there and go, oh, I already know this, because it's not a knowledge problem. I know you do. This is why you're watching this video. It's taking action. That's the problem, okay? So writing down your goals and being reminded of the amazing things you want to achieve and do, that'll get you excited to actually then achieve them. That'll make it easier for you to say no, because it'll be fresh in your memory why you should be doing this. For example, when I wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, that was something that used to be incredibly, incredibly hard. And most people go, how can you do that? You must be so disciplined. And let me tell you, I've never been the person to wake up early in the morning. I've always had trouble with it. The way that I was actually able to do it was I would write down goals, and also what goals I need to be working on the next day I wake up. So then when I wake up that next day, I don't have to tap into my willpower reserves, because one, it's already on my schedule. Two, I am motivated to wake up. That's what actually helps me wake up, because of the goals I've written. They motivate me to actually wake up the next day. So writing down goals and having goals and being obsessive about your freaking goals, very, very important, okay? That'll constantly remind you of what you need to be doing. So that way you can say, I will faster, meaning I will go to the gym, I will read this book, I will put an hour into coding. And it'll also help you say, I won't faster, meaning I won't eat this cheesecake right now. I won't drink this soda right now. No, I won't just do this random thing or hang out with this random friend and like smoke pot, right? That's what some of us do. And that will make you more productive, because now you're stronger in your I wills, and now you're also stronger in your I won'ts, because you remember why you're saying those things and acting on them in the first place. Cool. So that's why you need to be writing down goals. Let's move on to number 3. It's getting really hot. And reveal my sexy, clever programmer shirt. Okay, technique number 3, right, to beat procrastination. I call this immersion. This is basically immersing yourself in what you want to become. Very important. Immersion is about immersing yourself in what you want to become. So here's how this one works. A lot of the times I'm feeling less motivated, okay? Even a few weeks ago, because I'm human, I felt unmotivated. Here's what my days would look like. This was before college started. I'm not going to college, but that's besides the point. I would wake up, just be lazily like on my bed, watching YouTube or watching Game of Thrones and watching one video after another, binging, and then going out, just hanging out with friends. There's nothing wrong with hanging out and socializing, but that's all I would be doing. And I wouldn't work on making new videos. I wasn't working on going to the gym. There were a lot of things I wasn't working on. Now, how did I change that and go back into the zone of waking up early, of lifting, of making content, making the videos like this, writing emails, writing blog posts, all that? Here's how I did it. Simply immerse myself in what I wanted to do. First, it feels very forced, and then you actually enjoy it. It becomes a part of you. So for example, on my commutes, instead of listening to music, I just listen to something like Audible, and I listen to Bigger, Leaner, Stronger, which is a fitness book. And then constantly listening to it made me interested in starting to lift again. And since lifting was my weak part, and I knew that body is your top priority, if your body is fit, your mind is fit, and you can focus on everything else, I would come home, and when I'm eating, I would just watch YouTube videos about lifting. Whether it's about squat technique or whether it's just a vlog of a bodybuilder or their nutrition. So constantly my brain is thinking about that. So now instead of driving, listening to music, and checking my phone, and then only thinking about random Facebook notifications, my brain is thinking about lifting. And when I'm home, instead of watching random YouTube videos about nonsense, I make them more purposeful. I still watch entertaining videos, but they're more purposeful. And now my brain is thinking about lifting. So guess what I do? Guess what I'm excited to do when I wake up in the morning? Go to the gym and pick up and lift some weights. Okay? So this is very simple. Now, when I feel out of the zone, when I'm not programming, I'll listen to podcasts on programming while I'm driving. I'll listen to books on programming. I'll watch videos about programming, and then I'll start doing programming. I'll love it, and I'll be becoming better at it the whole entire time. This is exactly what I did to become top 1% in the world for chess. I just replaced Netflix with chess videos, and it helped me become really damn good. So immersion is a very powerful thing you can do, and the simple steps you can take is Audible, okay? The YouTube videos you're watching can be more purposeful. You can watch tutorials or just YouTube videos that are more specific to what you want to become. You can also hang out with people who do that thing. So if you want to become a programmer, go to meetups, and they're free on meetup.com for programming. Go to meetups for lifting on meetup.com, okay? If you don't have those friends naturally there, go on places like meetup.com, make those friends, and then when you're hanging out with people who are thinking about this every day, then you'll be thinking about this every day, okay? And again, this stems from understanding that you don't control your own thoughts. It's your environment that actually helps you build your own thoughts and motivation. So when you're surrounded with all this stuff, it'll move you in the direction you want to go and the things you want to achieve. So that was immersion. Now let's move on to the last and final tip that I want to give you. And this is very aggressive, which is why I had it at the end. But if you give this a try, I promise it'll at least, and even if you can't stick with it, it'll at least show you why this is so incredibly powerful, and it'll actually get you to take action right away. And I want you to give this a try, because I'm not about making small changes or setting small goals, because sometimes they're so small that it's not sexy enough for you to actually jump on the bandwagon. I want you to do the opposite. I want you to, if you've watched this video up until this point, right, I want you to act on what I'm going to tell you next. And this way, you'll get a full feel of what it feels like to be your best self. And then if it's attractive enough, you can start to work towards it one step at a time, all the while remembering what it felt like to go in that beast mode for one day. So here it is. Step number 4, my perfect day technique. Okay, you can call it Kazi's perfect day technique, something I invented. And it has worked with a lot of my students, and it's worked for me as well. For those of you guys who don't know me, I run a business called Clever Programmer, and I have a ton of students who are learning to code in there. Okay, so here's how my technique works. Basically, here's what I do. Right before sleeping, I'll take my legal pad, okay, and write down specifically what I'm going to be doing the next day, okay? Very, very specifically, if I was my best, most productive self. Okay, so here's a day. I want you to go with me and write this down. If you're motivated right now, bring out a pen, legal pad, or anything to write on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a legal pad, or even on your computer, okay? And let's just write down, I call it the perfect day, where you're your most productive self. What would you do in this day? And let's wake up at 5:30 a.m., okay? So here I go. So here's how I would say it. Wake up, 5:30 a.m. All right. The next on the list will be get ready. Okay, get ready. From 5:30 a.m. to 5:50 a.m. So it takes me 20 minutes to get ready. For me, then the next step is I use this app called Headspace for meditation. So I might say Headspace, and I want to be very specific. Headspace, like I do this a lot, so that's why I'm not closing my eyes, but almost close your eyes and imagine how long does it take you to wake up, and be realistic. For me, sometimes it takes me 5 minutes to get out of bed. Then to get ready, it might take me 20 minutes. Then I have to walk downstairs, right? So also add some padding. So now I might say do Headspace meditation from 6 a.m. to 6:20 a.m. Okay? 20 minutes. It's usually 10 minutes or 15 minutes long. You just sit down, you put your headsets in, play the thing. It already has everything for you, and then it's guided. So it just tells you what to be thinking about, what to be doing. The reason why it's really helpful is not because I'm some spiritual monk, but what it does allow me to do is get very clear in my thoughts, and it also helps me sometimes come up with very amazing ideas, because sometimes you need to be thinking with a very clear brain, and that's what it allows you to do. So it teaches you to not be stressed in moments you're supposed to be stressed, and it allows you to think very clearly, and not get sidetracked by everything else that's going on. So it makes you very clear with your thoughts. It also makes you socially a very cool person, because it teaches you how to be present. You want to talk to a boring ass person who you never want to talk to again? Talk to somebody who's not there in their head, right? You're telling them something and they're just like, yeah. And you're like, did you even listen to what I just said? Did you understand? And from them, they'll be like, no, I totally got you. So what was that again? It's because they weren't paying attention, and it's because they don't know how to be present-minded. They're in their heads. So meditation teaches you how to be outside your head. Well, again, this video is not about meditation. Let's move on. Now I have to eat breakfast, so I go to this place called Egg Harbor, okay? So I'll write down Egg Harbor, and then, I assume I'll get there probably, 30 minutes after meditation. So let's say Egg Harbor from 6:50 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Between the time it takes them to serve me and how long it takes me to eat. So I assume that it's going to take me 30 minutes to get there, and then I assume that it's probably going to take me like 40 minutes to get my food and eat and get out of there. Then the next thing I might say is I go to my office, okay? And I might get to my office at 8 a.m. The next thing I might say is, now that I'm at my office, what do I do here? Well, how about I write an email to all my students? You can do something else. For example, you could put in 1 hour of coding in this time block, right? So let's make it something that I would do, if I was in your situation watching this video, trying to learn programming or learning whatever, right? So you could replace 1 hour of that with whatever. So I'll just write coding, and I'll say from 8:10 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. I add these pads because sometimes you take a break or you have to go to the bathroom or whatever. So I constantly add a few pads because you might have a conversation with somebody, you might go to grab water. It changes it. So you don't want to be so restrictive, just add a little bit of padding, but still be specific about what you're doing. Okay, after 1 hour of coding, let's say I go lift. Usually I'd lift right before going to my office, and then I'll say, get to gym at 9:30 a.m. and then I'll say complete lifting from 9:40 a.m. to 11:40 a.m. Because I know it takes me 2 hours, and I'm not going to go on any further. But if you just look at this list of stuff I've done already, is pretty insane, right? I have gotten ready, I have meditated, I have ate breakfast, I have done coding, I'm completed with lifting, right? And that 1 hour of coding, you could replace it with like small 20-minute blocks of like write an email to boss, or make a video about something, or read some book for 20 minutes. So you can imagine you could even do so many more things. And this is only 11:40 a.m. right now, guys. That's when most of the people's day is just starting. They're still in their zombie mode. Now, imagine what you could get done till 9 p.m. Okay? If you're specific this way, what happens is when you wake up, you're so excited about all the things that you're going to be doing, you just get going immediately, and you're not tapping into your willpower reserves because everything is written down there and the instructions are already there. So you're becoming the leader and you're following your own self. And this way, it doesn't require any willpower. So when people see me do this, they're like, how are you doing this, Kazi? I'm not. I'm just following orders. I'm just a good soldier. You know, if you think about it, why did you go to school and college? You know, you're a follower, right? I'm a follower. And if you didn't fail all your years, what did you learn? You learned following. So we're pretty good at it. We've learned this in our lives. We've learned this from society. And who better to follow than yourself? Okay? So this way, you're not being, no willpower is being lost. So this is how you can save yourself from losing willpower and then power through and actually complete all of this stuff. And then you can add in time, like I might walk for 20 minutes and then read a book. Then I have time scheduled for when I'm eating. And you can do this. And then, you know, if you want to be flexible, after 6 or 7 p.m., you know, you've done a lot, trust me. You've done a lot more than you could even think you'll do in a month, okay, or in a week. Trust me, you get done a shitload. So after 6 p.m., right, you've gotten done a lot. So after that, you can do whatever you want. You could hang out with you could just block out time from 6 p.m. to, let's say, 9 p.m., and you can just call it free time. And in that, you know, call your friend, hang out with a buddy, watch a movie with your girlfriend, watch Game of Thrones, whatever it is, it's free time now. But you've earned it. And then around 9 p.m., what you want to do is start wrapping it up, okay? So if you want to be very specific with my time as well, this helps me a lot. You know, waking up in the morning and going on the sleep cycle from 10 p.m. to 5:30 a.m., that's 7.5 hours of sleep, and you're incredibly productive throughout the day, right? So you don't have to be that strict. You can go on your own time routine, but this is how I do it, right? I'll start winding things up around 9 p.m., and then from 9 to 9:30, I might read a book, and then from 9:30 to 10, I'll actually start trying to fall asleep, okay? Like, everything is shut off. Eyes are closed at 9:30 p.m. And then around 9:45 or 9:50-ish or 10, that's when I actually knock out. So when I say I'm in bed at 10, I mean like I'm already in sleep at 10 p.m. And then I wake up at 5:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. and then I continue moving and then doing things. So this way, I am creating, meaning I'm actually creating content. I'm improving. My body is improving, right? I'm taking care of my health. And I'm getting to hang out with my friends. So I'm taking care of my training, my body, and my social life, family and everything included, all in one day. So it's all doable, but you just have to remind yourself. But when it's not doable is you wake up, and the first thing you do is Facebook notifications. The second thing you do is watching a YouTube video, just like letting your time leak. When you do that, that's when it's incredibly dangerous. Okay, so this is a long video, and I gave you 4 very powerful techniques. Just as a reminder, I gave you the stealth mode. Put your damn phone on airplane mode, right? Airplane mode. I gave you the goal maniac. Write down your goals as often as possible. Make them sexy. Make them realistic. Third, immersion. Immerse yourself in what you want to become. So listen, Audible, books, watch videos of what you want to be doing. And then, because, for example, for me, I wanted to become rich. I wanted to learn about business. So I have, even right now with me, I have books like this sitting down with me, right? The Millionaire Whatever Success. If I show you Audible on my phone, which I will, so I don't know if you could see, but, all of these books are, okay, deep work. So you learn about deep work, 10X rule, how to set big goals, a book called How to Get and Stay Motivated. I have a book called Sleep Smarter. I have a book called 4-Hour Work Week. I have a book called Master the Money Game, the Millionaire Booklet, and you can see that those were the things that helped me get to where I want to go. And this year, I'm going to be actually hitting, this upcoming year, I'm going to be in 2017 or 2018, I should be actually hitting $1 million in revenue. So you can see how powerful this is. I don't come from a rich family or anything, and right now I'm 23 years old. And then fourth thing, right, was perfect day technique, which I went on in depth. But this is what would your most productive, your best self do on a day. You jam-pack that day with what you think you should be doing, right, from 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then you just go and do that. Okay? So right now from this video, here's what I want you to do. Try the perfect day technique, and then comment on this and let me know what you think of it. And the easiest thing you can start off with is putting your phone in airplane mode, okay? So comment below right now. Let me know if there was something that you missed or that I missed that I can improve, or what you thought of this video and which of these techniques you will try today, okay? Comment that. Also, like this video. It took a lot of effort and time and energy to make it. And I hope you loved it. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or give it a dislike if you don't like it. And then also please subscribe to the channel. This channel is about computer programming, but there's also a lot of motivation and how to beat the out of laziness and procrastination on this channel as well, okay? And achieve your goals. So subscribe, hit that bell button. That's it for this video, guys. As always, I love your faces off, and I'll see you in the next video.